turn the lights down low. Come right on over here to me. I know you don't want no commitments, baby. I just wanna set your body free. And I don't care what's going on in the night outside my door. I just wanna get your head right, baby. Give you all the love I got for sure. So baby, if you've got that feeling, you know I wanna give you that midnight healing. Oh, I just wanna make love to you all night long. Midnight healing, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Un, dos, tres, cuatro.
Check, check one, check, check two. Good to go. All right. What's up, everybody? Saying hello to everybody. Good evening, Twitch. Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, IG. Good evening, Facebook. Okay, let's go going. Audio works. Everything's good. Okay. What's up, y'all? Welcome to HOP. Audio's good. Okay, let's do this. Let me just do a quick check on my. Okay, my buttons are working. Excellent. All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. 450. I think it's 450. I don't know. Did a lot of shows in my lifetime, but I'm pretty sure we're at 450. Welcome to the show, y'all. Just quietening everything down, so we don't have any distractions. All right, so tonight's guest, I had a chance to meet this awesome gentleman at NFT NYC. Always knew he existed, but never had an opportunity to speak or meet with him, but actually met him in person. I recognized him right away, and, off our friendship began. So I want to bring on Carlos now, and I want everybody to wish this guy a big happy birthday throughout the show. But without further ado, let's bring on Carlos. Carlos. Hang on, Carlos. Hang on. Okay, Carlos, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
All right.
You go.
Carlos, welcome to HOP. It took me a while to get you on HOP, but you're finally here. Um, it's just from a personal opinion and perspective, awesome energy, Carlos. I know that you're a big part of One Love Art Dao in many ways. I'm going to let you let everybody know how. But, it's a pleasure to meet you at NFT NYC. And the minute I met you, I remember saying, how do you feel about coming on the show? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So here you are. And, we're going to start the show the way we always start the show, which is why don't you give everyone a brief introduction to who you are and a little bit about you and your art. And why don't you introduce yourself? Go ahead, Carlos. Why don't you take it from there?
So my name is Carlos Aquino. I'm um, from the mountains of the Dominican Republic. Growing there, surrounded by really good energy. Start being part of the Web3 back in 2021. That's when I started getting my feet into it, and went for my first NFT conference in 2022, where I met too many amazing people there, and what is basically that's where I get all my inspiration to start this journey. And meeting you in New York, um, it was amazing. Like as you say, we all know the USS, but we never uh, interchange any type of communication and in real life. But it was awesome to be able to share so much energy and the event that we shared together. So thank you for having me here, and uh, hello to everyone that had the time to tune in and just enjoy a good conversation.
Okay. First off, Carlos, you just recently had a birthday on the 30th, correct? So I wanted to wish you a very happy birthday, bro.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was really quiet, very joyful. I had the opportunity to spend another year together with my family, my kids, Jennifer, and some friends. And It was joyful, to be honest. Jen had a conference in Colombia, really busy time, a week of really putting together an exhibition there for our friend Juan, and everything was really, really well curated and to the details. They have a really nice time, and she enjoyed the trip. I mean, it was really successful, and she made it on time for my birthday. I think that was my best gift.
Okay. Um, Carlos, talk to me about talk to me about young Carlos. Help me understand, because I often say a lot of times on the show, at this point in life, right? I only know the you at this moment in time, and I only know you as an artist. You had an awesome work of art at the Jetta Gallery, which it was the first time I know you create. I know you've created art. It was the first time I got a chance to actually see your art. I think you also, if I remember correctly, created a piece at the Canvas 3.0 at the Oculus. I know you today. I don't know how we got here, right? And sometimes the story is very interesting because not sometimes people are artists up until now. Sometimes people have wandered around life and done a lot of things and then ended up, making the move to art, which is how a lot of us all found each other in spaces with Web3 and NFTs. What about young Carlos, man? Maybe you could tell me a little bit about your childhood and was art a part of it? I mean, was art in your life, or yeah, man. Why don't you tell me the story? Go ahead, man.
So John Carlo was a really interesting kid. I get in trouble a lot because I was curious, always creating, always playing, inventing new games, constructing my toys, playing around, playing baseball with the other kids, and creating art that was really drawing all the time. I think in class I get in trouble a lot because I don't pay attention to the teachers just because I was drawing 90% of the time. Um, so art was part of my life since day one, I believe. Um, get in trouble because I paint in the walls all the time with whatever I can find, charcoal, avocado seed, anything that make colors I use to create and paint walls. And I think life in general is art. So because we can express ourselves in this work of art, we might be, oh, you're an artist. I don't think uh, we should call it that way. I think every human in its essence is pure art. Think about creation, like we create one way or another houses, a family, a warm friendship. It's creation. Everything is creation. We evolve from creation. And when you sit down and you don't move, and then creation is stuck. Yeah, I think that's. I think I was in the mood all the time, creating, running, creating maybe a history I can share with my kids or with my friends. You remember that day that we do this, this, and that. At that time, we don't have so much technology, so we had to improvise and create ourselves uh, to be able to remember when we got it together as we aged. And I really have a beautiful childhood. Surround myself from nature, animals, really warm family, huge family, a diversity in ethnicity in our town, a small town in the mountains, Constanza, where the flowers surrounded the valley. And there was no distinction between races because we have Japanese, Hungarian, Arabs, Americans, Spaniards, Portuguese, French. So that valley was so interesting that when I moved to the state, it was no different to me to have um, communication with other ethnicity. I always found myself really privileged to live in a space like that, but not only, surrounded by a good history, good education, um, educated in a Catholic environment where they give you a really good base how to be a good human and a good community worker. Putting first the service beside the money. And I think because I was surrounding myself with so many good things, that is who I am today. I'm the product of that creation. And in essence, that's pure art right there.
Okay. Um, so, if I heard correctly, you grew up in the mountains, but there was a lot of different Dominican Republic, right? There was a lot of different ethnicities that live. I would have never. That's not something I would have ever guessed. I would have thought it would have just been Dominicans. And I would have never thought there would have been such a uh,
Diverse.
yeah, a variety. So it's kind of yeah, interesting to hear because that's not something I would have ever guessed. Um, okay. Did you art school at all? Did you ever take any art classes when you were younger? Or, how about parents? Anybody into art? I mean, or yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, my mom is a seamstress.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
I
no
was on.
wonder you. The No wonder you the sewing machine, which I moved, but okay, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, go ahead.
yes,
That makes sense why you spotted that so quickly.
yeah. So everyone in my house have artistic um, signs. So my mom is a sister, my father is a farmer, my brother was a tailor at the age of 11, and one of my sister studied art as a career, and everybody else deviate themselves from um, business design, and two of my sister bankers and business, general. Um, I focus myself when I start studying. I want to go for psychology, but there was no too many resources in my family to send me to school for psychology. And then what was open was, at that time was I went. I mean, my journey is I can sit down with you and talk about for hours, but I want to try to make it short and fit it in the program. I know we have a tight schedule, but um, I my parents don't want me to go and play baseball. They want me to finish school before I start that journey. So 1998, so I finished high school and move on to the city and start playing baseball. So played the summer league with the Cincinnati Reds, and I got injured, and then I dropped out for baseball. I started
What position?
infield, second base, shortstop, switch hitter, fast, good arm. It was a nice experience, and then it's when I go back to where I am today, but I want to leave it there and continue with the art part. Yes, I took art classes, so I went to a Catholic school where I have a private tutor for art, and they teach me fundamentals, color mixing, how to use anything in my surrounding to create bottles, glass, wood, anything that you have around you can create with. So I was really good in that resources wise. I never afraid to mix, never afraid to create, never afraid for improvement. And I think that took me far away enough because I never was afraid to create. Um, Always curious. And if I put my eyes on something, I have to touch it and learn it quick. And then, it was a really nice journey to be in school, be able to work hand by hand with people that have experience and that are passionate. And that time, always fascinated by history, always fascinated where my last name come from, where I am, always in that searching who I am, where I coming from. And the just the artist part of my mom's side, like she was so genius. Like she can create a dress out of scratch, like piece of fabric that she collects. And she can design it, she can draw it, and then she just make it so easy. And then I always looked at one of my best memory was sitting down. We have like a small shop. We took 7 machines in the house. Everybody in the machine with 7 siblings total, 5 girls, 2 boys, and everybody is sewing at the same time. Everybody's on a machine, and I was a young kid at that time. I don't know how to sew on the machine yet, but I had to do the end of the pants with the needle. But just the spirit, that vivid memory of being in a family all together at the same time doing something that I don't really like at that time because I just only didn't want to play as a kid. But now I really appreciate it because now I go back to that memory. It brings me so much joy because when I came to the state, that was my first job. I was working as an upholsterer um, in New York uh, because I know how to use a machine.
Huh. So, Carlos, I can't tell you how many times on this show I've said I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe in how odd, or how luck, or I always believed in the universe provides you with signs, almost like as if you were traveling down the highway of life, and a sign comes by, and you're going in the right direction because if you were driving on a highway, a sign would pass you and you would look at the sign and you're all right, I know I'm in the right direction. And today earlier when we were testing, you blew you were like, oh, I like your sewing machine, and I'm like, what? And I forgot that I moved it there. But how many people would recognize that, And what are the odds of me and my neighbor? His mother was a seamstress, and my grandmother was a seamstress, and my grandmother has a whole room, her machine, and just everything every button, every all the I forget what you call them, the oh shit, the I forget
Needles.
the um
The fabric.
yeah, not the fabric, but the edging. What do you call the edging? I'm forgetting what they call the edging. It'll come to me. All the different types of trimmings. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
I used to remember, like, my grandmother could just take the fabric and make a dress out of the fabric. She would make her own dresses. She would wear these muumuus. I don't know if you know what a muumuu is.
Yeah.
But she would, make belts and decorate them with buttons, and so I got, and now I'm sitting here learning about you and listening, and all of this is in your past and your history, right? And how many shows have I done? No one has ever said anything like this, but yet the odds of me having a sewing machine, from my neighbor because he didn't want to junk it or throw it in the trash, and he felt bad because it was his mom. I said, give it to me. Maybe I'll put it up on Marketplace, and who knows? I'll see if I could just get it to somebody who will appreciate it and use it, right? But that wasn't what blew me away. What blew me away is you recognized, you said, that's a really nice machine behind you. And it wasn't until afterwards that I'm saying, like, how does he know about how does he know about sewing machines? I'm like, yeah, it's one of those old, I think it's a singer, right? I was like, it's one of those old singers. But you recognize, and now I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck are the odds of this right now? So I don't believe, like, this is, I feel like we're at the right place at the right time. And the universe for both of us is sending those signs. That's just mind blowing to me because that's all I'm thinking about as I'm listening to you speak. Another thing is I used to play second base and shortstop. They didn't think I was a big kid, and I didn't have the speed. I had the speed, but there was faster at shorts. You gotta be fast at shortstop. But so they moved me to second base, and it's just crazy right now. Okay, so parents didn't want you to play baseball, so instead they said you had to finish. What courses? Yeah, what was that? What were the courses that you took? And also, were you pursuing art at all during that time? I mean, were you creating it all at that time? Or was like art just just were you being artistic at life, but not necessarily creating art? But the whole high school and then college, and then you came here. You said you were a upholstery.
Upholstery. So basically,
go ahead.
yeah. So
Bro, I have so many questions right now Cause
Yeah. So
you got such a an interesting background.
look, I, generally, it's like I do a lot of things. Like you don't believe how many things I can do with my hands. So in the art, you have to be able, specific in the countryside. They teach you life. One of the thing is like I just remember vividly 7 years old. I said, okay, you're seven now. You getting ready to wash your clothes. Nobody else is gonna be watching it for you, so you get used to this. So now I'm 7 years old, watching my own clothes. So now I cannot be that messy with it because I'm doing it. So responsibility comes at an early age. So when I was 12, my dad don't want me playing around with kids doing, daredevil's thing. I was one of those, like the only thing I want to do is playing. I don't care if it's in the woods and the mountains, going down the hill, picking up wild and wild.
Yeah, who wants to be responsible when
It's
you're a kid?
you
I
know,
got you.
believe me. So going to the mountain is, grab a 5 gallon bucket and just go down the hill like it's not tomorrow. So that was fun. It's just a slice, and now I look the mountain, I say, oh my God, yeah, I was doing that. I don't even know how, but I was. And responsibility was one of the things. So they teach you in a young age how to cook, how to clean, how to do things in the house, how to help, how to do errands, how to go and help others, how to plan. Like there's so many things in the countryside that you learn. And now when you go to the city, you're the one surviving. It's easy for you to do that because now you know how to clean your room, you know how to wash your clothes, you know how to cook your food. So you don't depend on all these people and nobody. So you are independent, man, since an early age. I'm so grateful for that. Even to this day, I don't depend on nobody to do things for me because I'm really aware of what I need to be doing and what I do. So it comes, from a young age. So at 12, I started working with my cousin in a tire shop. So in the tire shop, what I was learning was business. So my cousin was a he sell tires, he sell insurance, he sent gunpowder, and he also was a check casher kind of deal. In the countryside, everybody go to the city, they sell all the vegetables there, and then they come to the countryside again, and the bank is closed at that time. So my cousin was like, I changed the check, get a percentage. And it was a really good business. So I was learning things that it will help me with my own life later on because now I'm not attaching to money because I know what money is. Or I don't have, it, it don't come to me when I see a big quantity of money, like, oh, it don't surprise me because I already live it in a young age. So it was education basically. In my free times when I was in the tire shop, if I'm not doing anything, I just drawing baseball players, drawing the landscape, drawing anything that you imagine. Doesn't matter. It was in paper, it was in newspapers, anything, so I can fulfill my necessity of doing something because I really like it. So worked there for a while. When I finished high school, and then I told my mom, I finished high school. Finally, can I go and play now? And she said, well, you can do with your life whatever you want. And I left the town for a big drink with my brother. I joined a program, and it was a really nice program. I was be able to play with some of the biggest names from the Dominican Republic, sons and things like that. It was a really nice experience to me because it not only gave me character and discipline, but also was a really nice experience that I can help all the peoples, all the kids to fulfill their dreams either time come to that because I already passed through it. I know what I need to do or what I need to happen for that. So my life is really it being a really nice journey um, of experience to take me to who I am today, and I cannot be more grateful of that.
Um, I used to shoot for a show on the Speed Network. Shit, unique, unique whips. I think it was Unique Whips. I think that was the name of the show, and it was a show where the owner of the company had a car dealership out in Long Island, and he used to celebrities used to bring in their cars, and he needed a guy to capture the celebrity with the car. Right, the car would come in normal, and then they would, you know, I don't know what you would call it. They would alter the car, right? They would maybe
Pink my right, pink my
yeah,
right. That was
yeah, 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 yeah. So, a show just like that, exactly like that. But it was called Unique Whips, and the show took. You know, it's so he used to call me in, Marc. We have mostly, if I remember correctly, it was either hip hop artists or baseball stars. I think he started going more with the baseball stars because they paid. They had nice salaries. They paid, so I had a chance to shoot Jorge Posada and Jeter and all these guys had their cars done at this at this Unique Whips, and he called me up, Marc. David Justice, if I remember correctly. I don't know. This is a long time. I got to go back and check all my photos. And
yeah.
I remember we would they would bring the car in a trailer. They would drop it off at their house, and then I would have to get some photos of them posing by their car. So I took advantage of this, like getting all these base. I didn't know baseball that much, right? I'm a football guy, but I don't know baseball that much, so it wasn't that exciting to me. But as I was posting these photos of these baseball players with their cars, people were like, "What? Like where? How are you meeting these dudes?" And I remember there was these two guys. There was a custom guy, this kid Remy, and he handled the lighting and the systems, and he would do all the back, right? He would do the back work for the systems in the cars. And then there was this other dude, I can't remember his name, but I don't know what you would call him. I don't know if you would call him a seamstress or an upholsterer. He would be the guy that would take all the seats apart.
Yeah, and then put it together nice and neat the way they want it.
Yeah, but insane. It was
Yeah,
insane. The shit that you pull a seat apart in a Lamborghini
yeah,
or Ferrari Tester, right? And then, but what this guy did with the colors and the fabrics and the
yeah,
edging and how they put the little bead around the little colored. It was like
yeah.
the shit, and you'd look inside the car and you were like, what? The headrest, and he would you put the logo. I forgot what you call it. Shit.
Right.
With the
The,
threading.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the back. Yeah, in the back of the seat. Yeah,
yeah. I forget what you call
they call it engineering. It's embroidering.
embroidery. Thank you. Yeah, the shit that did, like I would see the car come in. It just looked normal, right? And then I would see the different. And one of the things that blew me away, because a system is a system, it goes back together. But it was nice. It had glass. But the decoration, I call it the decoration or the embellishment. What this guy did with the upholstery work and the different. I mean, he like put it was just everything, but the upholstery work always amazed me. How perfect he got. He literally recovered the seats with all these different. So I was curious about the upholstery thing. Like what?
So, and my sister, she took off on my mom journey. Like one of the oldest one, she was basically a seamstress. She made curtains, she made window trimmer, bedding, and all that. So I was the installer. So I do window trimming, hardwood, upholstery. So I learned that in the house, with them, oh no, you need to do this, this, and that. They teach me how to do it, and then I do after the fact. They teach me, and then now that's my duty. I had to do every window trimming. They had to do with wood. I had to cut the wood. I had to put the foam,
Like
and then I have yeah, and then
got you.
I actually have one here and one in the other side of the house that I made. So I had to do it. And when I came to the state, this guy in New Jersey have a garage, and he do car upholstery.
Ah, shit.
So he asked me, "Do you know how to use a sewing machine?" I said, "Yes, I know how to use a sewing machine." "You know how to use a nail gun?" "Yes, I." Back in my in DR, we don't have air guns. We have hand guns by hand, with the nails. So me here having tools, clamps. They put the leather bag, and you can clamp it nice and neat. Really nice sewing machine. They are industrial. All the tools that you can imagine to do that kind of work. I was in heaven. We work with two tools in there. It just hand and whatever you can find. And you have a scissor, you have a hammer, you're good to go. But coming to the state and had the ability to see that many tools, and the job was so easy for me. It was like impressed in a sense because he used to do a lot of Cadillacs, and I was not in the best neighborhood ever, so it was a lot of bad guys in the neighborhood that want to think they're right, and most of them were Cadillacs. So they want the Cadillacs to have the DVD back then, 2003 DVDs in the back of the seat.
Yeah,
So we had to take it out apart. We had to put the wire through, and then we had to make the cover and then put the DVD, and then the DVD come out and up without any issues. So I had to do all that work for this guy. Sometimes it get scary because I never experienced anything like that in life, but these guys were not the best ones. Let me put it that way. So, and in New York, maybe in Dominica, new guy there was, fresh. I said, always, I was on the lookout always because you never know what's gonna happen with these guys. Anyway, but it was a really nice experience because give me the ability to try tools and be able to create again creation. We're creating. So now I upholstery in cars. They just give me, okay, we need to take this out, we need to do this later. Now it's a whole team that go behind to put it nice and neat, and the glue and the sewing and the details, and now look, everything seamless. And you have to do some hand sewing because in some places when you do the attachment in the bottom of the car, you cannot put the machine there, so you have to leave some loose to bring it all together in the bottom, and then just hand sewing everything. Well, I enjoy that work. What I don't enjoy was the cold weather because my hand gets so hard. And then it's painful because I have to work with needles and tools. And most of the time it was like so cold in the garage. But, it was a nice experience overall because I got to start my journey in the United States with something that I never thought that I want to use when I got out of the Dominican Republic. And think about it, before that, I was working in a gym factory. They made run. That's what they export to the United States. So the owner, son, that was the head of the marketing department, I was working there because my brother was a tailor. He was the head of the department of samples. So he do all the samples that the new line is coming for the summer or for the winter, whatever new pens they decide to put in the market. And they give me the job. Yeah, I start working there, and this guy saw me drawing all the time. So he go to my desk and asked me, "What are you going to school for?" I said, "Business administration." And he said, "I think you're in the wrong business. But anyway, can you do some drawings for me? I wanna. We having a new line coming up, and we wanna see some, fresh drawings." And then he give me the theme, the colors, and then I come out with a designs for the line. At that time was no, it was something that he asked for, something that I was be able to do. I never thought anything about it, but back then, I get all the samples for the new jeans, for the teachers, for the new lines, and it was nothing to me. So on the eight drawing, they pick up five. That was the collection for the summer 2002 for that company. And again, was art. So my art was printed in jeans and teachers. Even back in 2002, even it's not my name on it, I was the one creating the drawings. And here you go again, art. So art was always part of my journey everywhere I go.
Um, I don't know when the right time to ask this question is. I'm surprised that. Well, all right. Have you ever thought about doing any type of sculptures in with upholstery?
Uh, Probably, yeah. Um, Nothing that I had in mind right away, but I used to make, well, in the Dominican Republic, every February we have a fest. We call it Carnaval. So from February 1st to the 28th, every weekend, we have a party in the park with all the people dressed up as we call it Diablos Cojuelos, and they, dance in the street. Okay. This is previous for Independence Day in the Dominican Republic. There is the February 27th. That's when, we got independence from the French. That was back in 1844. So since then, that tradition is the whole month is a whole, every weekend is a party in the park, in all the town, and everywhere in the Dominican Republic, every town in the Dominican Republic. And my town is really known for because we part of the biggest and more colored um you said dress sub things is a Carnaval de la Vega. It's they call it it's a national treasure to this day. So you can look it up and find Carnaval La Vega, and you will see what I'm talking about. They made these huge costume like a devils and dragons, and you imagine how many such a good art. So I grew up we making those costumes from clay. So we made the clay, and then we put glue with newspaper, and we designed the costumes as a kid. Think about it, like maybe 8 years old, 10 years old, doing this with my friends every year, creating uh, how you call those kite kite that you fly with the air. How you call those?
Kite.
Yeah, kites. Yeah. So we made those out of nothing. Like we grab a piece of plastic, a couple stick, you have some threaded line, and you're ready to go. That's basically you have to be so creative at that time because we don't have the money to go to the store and buy a kite. We had to create it. So we made our own toys, since I remember. And like I said, I had the best childhood that you can have just because I had the ability of doing all these things with no distraction. And to the Game Boy coming, I like to play Game Boy and Nintendo and all these things, but you only can play for certain hours. So you're limited to it. Not because maybe you don't have power in the house, but it was only certain hours that you'll be able to play. But the rest of the time, you just get out in the morning, play all day, and just come by, eat, come back out, and the parents, everybody's watching you. That's one of the things, good things. So you do some daredevil things everybody knows. So they call each other on the phone and say, "Oh yeah, they were playing here. They were in the river. They were in the mountains. Now they doing, and then you get punished for that, a timeout. Okay, you don't go into the baseball game next Sunday just because you do this, that, and that was painful to me. But yeah, so moving forward, all that, yes, I might consider doing upholstery, like in the art part. It's a really nice idea, to be honest with you. Not because I can have the ability to create whatever I want with it, but also I know how to work the leather, I have to work the fabrics, I know how to work the woods, and then also I can incorporate lighting to it or maybe sounds to the structure. They they be able to create that without any issue.
If you know what I'm talking about, which you do, which is this is like so odd. Cause I didn't there's just so many times I've talked about, what I've done here, what I've done there, but I forgot about this part where I used to shoot these cars, and you're talking about upholstery, and my mind goes right to what that. I mean, that guy was more than an upholster. He was like an artist with the
Yeah,
way he made these inside of these cars and the fabrics, and yeah, he did. I mean, the designs, and I remember the Lambo doors would go up, and I'd be like, holy shit, like that. He would make the insides look insane. And to him, it was just another day. But to me, it was like, what the like it was art, And so, and you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know why I'm getting these like flashes right now. And I'm seeing you make like these sculptures with all these, like, I can't explain it, but I could just see you. If you did the inside of the Escalades, which I imagine that was the Cadillac of choice that probably came in. Um, yeah, man. Then you know how to do the seats and the fabrics, and you know how to match up the sizing and yeah. I don't know
I
why.
just,
I don't know why that just came to me right now.
I
Um,
just a poster. It's in the garage still. I came from Atlanta, so I have worked with designers, interior designers, and costume chandeliers, costume houses. And this came from Atlanta, 100-year-old couch that had to be restored. So I did all the fabric work. Well, I mean, we fixed all the thing that was broken in the wood and things like that. And now it gets in the process to be complete, but being 1 year now because everything was so detailed to it. Thing don't match, I had to take it back out and just do it again. And we just finished well, my brother and I, we just finished a small project. We have like 6 couches that we had to upholster for one of my friends. They own a nursing home for the old people, all these, and they do those reclinables. And then they always call me when they need help with that. And then I my brother was here. I said yes, and then we did it in the garage. We finished it with a couple weeks. But yeah, I always work and I have everything that I need to work. We upholstery, we electrical, we are, uh, I mean, anything like it just versus right now, to be honest.
you're a very handy person, and usually handy people are extremely good when it comes to arts and crafts. Um, I remember when I was at like the peak of my shooting, and I remember buying backdrops. I got all my backdrops hanging on my wall, and I blew like I put every color. I blew through every color, and I said to myself, I said, I need these fucking colors. I need something new. And my obviously my grandmother was like, well, I got some material. So I'm like, let me see what material you got. So she gave me this one material, and I'm like trying to use it as a backdrop. I'm like, it's not big enough, and they gave me an idea. I ended up in the garment district in Manhattan, and I would go into all the garment stores, and I would source these insane materials. I still have them all. They're all hanging right there. And I would use these, and I remember like people would like, what backdrops are you using? I would go through thousands of rolls in the garment district till I found these like the baddest materials. And then I would take these materials. I'd be like, all right, I need an 8-foot strip. And of course you got the roll, and I'm like, give me 12 feet of that. And then I would hang them on my my backdrop system, and the fucking photos. People were like, "What the what are you shooting with? Like, where'd you get that backdrop?" I'm like, "That's no backdrop. That's fabric, you know." And yeah, I know you know, because if you do this, you probably know all about fabric and sourcing fabric. I'm sure you know about the garment district and the thousands of rolls. That used to be one of my favorite things to do. All right, before we get hung up too much, what came after the upholstery? Because I know you, electrician. You mentioned electricity, electric. How'd that
So,
work? How'd that
so
happen?
when I finished high school, I don't have nothing to do. Like, I was so boring. I had all this time in my hands, nothing to do. One of my friends told me, look, they have a class for electrical in the school that you can take it from 6 to 10. And I said, well, I'm not doing anything anyway. So I took the classes before I went to play baseball. So took the classes like 6 months, left. And to be honest with you, I never thought in my life that I being providing myself from that kind of work. I never saw myself being an electrician. I just took the class just because I was boring. I don't have nothing else to do. So I took the classes. I was fascinated by it because they talk about Nikola Tesla. That was my first introduction to Nikola Tesla. So they explain in the class, what was volt, what is amperes, what is this, what is that. Fascinating with the light bulbs, fascinated with the lighting and how things work. Always open things up to see what is inside, and never fix it, but curious about all these things. And I came to the States, worked at upholstery and a little bit in construction in New York, and then come down to Tampa, Florida, where my sister lived. And a different journey started because now I I work as with my cousin in the carpenter shop. When I don't have nothing to do, they send me there to help them, to sound all the chairs, to paint it and things like that. So I was aware of carpentry, how to measurement, how to cut, how to put things together. Really handy in that aspect. So I started working in a cabinet shop doing the installations, traveling all over the Florida. And when I was not traveling, I worked with my brother-in-law that he's a chef in the restaurant. So in the restaurant, I started as a teacher watcher. So that was the only thing that was available there. I was going with my brother-in-law for a few hours in the afternoon after I finished my job. And sooner or later, I find myself working, preparing food, serving food, getting all the plates ready to be served. And that quick, I was cooking. And now I'm in charge of anything that had to do with the grill. Anything in the grill, I made the grill steaks, pork chops, things like that. Anything that had to do with the grill, that was my side and the line. And moving forward was like working with a chef. There was a personal chef for a really famous singer, Spanish singer, Julio Iglesias in the Dominican Republic. His name was Joaquin, and was a really interesting man. One day I asked him, I said, look, Joaquin, I just want to learn how to cook properly, you know? And he said, well, you have to make notes. I don't give you all the secret, but you have to make notes how to prepare the things. So I made my notes and, how they prepare things, how do they do things. And it was a really nice learning experience because it's not cooking for you now or cooking in the house, it's cooking for 300 people. And no 300 people in general, you cooking for, again, it's a circle for me, baseball players. So I can tell you that I cook for Benny Williams, for Ruben Sierra, for Derek Jeter, for Alex Rodriguez, for all those guys, for the Yankees in the 2000s, because they used to go to that restaurant that was close to the stadium. It was a Latin restaurant, they call it La Rumba. And they used to come when they're in spin training to the restaurant. So now I'm here in the United States cooking for these major leaguers. And, it's like, for me, it was like, wow, and not only the wow, you get to meet them and they give you tickets to go watch the game and they say hi to you. And now you know what they eat. So when they come to the restaurant, they just call my brother-in-law directly, hey, Jose, we're going there, I want this place. So basically, you start setting this play for these guys. And it was like fascinating for me to be able to have experience. Again, now think about it. I was upholstering for bad guys in New York.
You're a very interesting guy, Carlos.
Oh, yeah. And then I learned myself how to cook like a lot of things. And then working in a Latin restaurant, then pass to be part owner on a restaurant, and really things that I experienced to the point that who I am today will add to it. So I don't pursue a restaurant business again for sure, but I learned a lot from there, and I really enjoy cooking at the house. Love it, cooking for the kiddos, for Jen. That's my love language. So yeah.
How did so now I'm glad you dropped a couple of things earlier as we were talking, because now I know I have a hint or two what to ask. But how did the electricity the electrician electrical knowledge start to play a part in the whole art? I mean, how did you start to venture into the art scene and then start to create art?
So basically, art creation was always part of me. So I always create, no matter what I was working. So one of the funny things is I send love letter to Jennifer. I always draw something in the letters. I create my own drawings and I write a poem or I write something that I want to express myself to her. So we always send letters back each other. So my letters always were drawings. I still have a few in the house back then. And I top of those drawings and send it to her with a little bit of my cologne and, really romantic. So as I working in the restaurant business in 2004, the Hurricane Charlie came and destroyed the town that we had the restaurant, and then now we had to start all over again. So I moved from that town, and in between, I get myself relocated with a new job or something like that. I start working in a retail store in the perfume area. So during a year, I learned perfumes. Anything that had to do with colognes, smells, how composition, how they were made, how what material they use, how they
Carlos,
relate.
Carlos, what's your top three colognes for all the men out there who want to woo the women? Give me the top three.
I just say Gio, Armani, Easy Miyake,
Did,
maybe
did you say
Jean
Aqua?
Paul,
Did you say Aqua de Gio?
Aqua de Gio.
That's my cologne.
Easy Miyake as one, and I just say Jean Paul Gaultier and Tom Ford.
Okay.
They, I mean, depend the occasion, you know. You always can use a fresh cologne or anything like that, but that's the one I prefer, to be honest.
I don't go nowhere not smelling like Aqua de Gio.
That's one of my favorite cologne.
That's the Aqua de Gio is my goat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, I was in the female area, and then I learned a lot how do they make the perfume, how the distillation go, what is the components, how they work, how they mix, and all that, and how for every person the smell is different, depending the skin or the pigment of your skin or the oil in your skin, everything is different. Not for everyone the perfume smells same, and all those components. So it was really like nice journey to learn. And then as I working in that place, um, I applied for a company called Tri-City Electrical Contractors, where they pay for your education as you're working with them. And that's where I start in the United States, the journey in electrical work. I start in Hillsborough Community College to learn how to be electrician in the commercial, industrial, and residential. Learn fire alarm and controls, electrical work. Yeah, too many things in there that was really interesting. So the whole course was 4 years. And when I finished my 4 years in the apprenticeship program, and then I did one more year in Hillsborough Community College, liberal arts. So again, and that was no plan. It was just it was available when I finished. Yeah, I took the class because after you've been 4 years in a schedule and remind you for 4 years I only missed 2 days of class. It was really my schedule was there. Yeah, I really love the schedule because I love to study. And after I finished class, I don't have nothing else to do. And then it was like what I do now with all this time that I have in my hand. And then you work early, you get out 3:30. Now from 3:30 to now, you don't have nothing else to do. And then I was really frustrated with the open time because I don't have nothing to do. So I wrote myself for a liberal arts one more year. And after I start my family and things like that, and then I drop school overall because I want to go for the engineering and USF, but I don't have they don't have evening classes, and then I have to leave work and start studying for a career that I don't know if it's gonna provide me what I need. And I said, you know what? I dropped that and continue improving in the electrical work. I went from apprenticeship to a superintendent, and for superintendent to a general superintendent to owner, and that's what I am now. And just I own my own company. I fit my schedule. I do like three different businesses, including art. And last year I started a different one. They supporting athletes in the baseball field. They got dropped by a team and they need to find a new contract or facilitating them training all they need to continue working to find another contract. So there you go. You see, it's a circle.
You I feel like there's so much more. You know, it's funny because I saw you so many times during NFT NYC, and I knew you had something to do with the just from murmur and sometimes listening to Jenny speak and then just the general chatter. And I knew you had something to do with the setup of the galleries or the gallery show, but I didn't know what, and I didn't know to what extent either. And you did mention to me that you have some knowledge, or you do lighting with art. Did I hear that all correctly?
Yes. So back in 2000,
Well, we're already at an hour, and I haven't even. I feel like I've even scratched the surface with you yet.
yeah. So back in 2008, I was working in the Scientology building. So you had knowledge of where the Scientologies are, correct?
Tom Cruise Scientology, that type of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I work in the hotel. Yeah, I work in the church in the Mecca. That's what they call it. It's a seven seven-story building where they basically that's what they do. You know, all the meetings and all the ceremonies, and that's where they have the training facility. That's where they do all the research. That's basically a research facility um, for the church. So I worked in that institution since 2008 all the way to 2012. So I was in charge of the fifth floor. That's where they have all the equipment for testing. They're testing about speed of light, confinement space, um, gravity, compass, and knowledge, uh, text and smell, magnetic field. Like you can imagine, there's so many things there that you know. I don't. I can spend hours explaining to you what all these equipment are and where they are, what they do. So I do all the electrical part for all these equipment. One of the things, the reason that that happened was not even. I don't sign for that or anything like that, but I was in the right place and I was doing a fine work at that time, and they don't replace people, so they want to keep the same people working for the longest they can, so they don't have other people coming in and seeing what they're doing. So I worked for them for a lot for too many years in all the equipment, data equipment, electrical equipment, but not only in the power aspect of, because they have a lot of art inside the building. So all the lighting, we're talking about LED lighting, fiberglass lighting, neon lighting, different on the lighting. You walk in that building and you feel like you in a spaceship, like you are at the wall. Because surround the building, in the bottom when you're walking in the highways, it's neon lighting, pure neon lighting, and you feel like you're floating. It's beautiful. And the glasses in the corridor, they have the flat sign or the Scientology signs that are illuminating by fiberglass lighting. So you don't see the light because the light only reflects in the sign inside the glass. So I had the privilege to work with things that is like one lifetime projects or experimental projects or projects that you will never see in your life again. I had the privilege to work in that building. And that's the reason if you see some of my painting, they look like vitriol, like in the churches, they have the glass, how you call it, vitriol?
You mean like stained glass?
Yes, a stained glass, yes. we call it vitral in Spanish, but stained glass. Yeah, you see, I have some of my painting, they look like that just because the inspiration that I took when they were building that church, because they have a lot of those glasses there. And I had to install the lighting for those glasses. So the reflection of the glass with the lighting behind the glass, it was giving the tonality that they want to look sacred. So like the lighting coming from the sky, and it's sacred to walk in the ambient light, was mimicking like you are a space basically, and the sounds, and it was a beautiful experience to work with all those equipment. We all the lighting in there, and then transition to work in the Dali Museum, because the company that I were working for, they had those contracts, big buildings, and they have a contract with USF, and then I had the privilege to work in the Dali Museum and the lighting, design, installation, and that's what I got my own experience with lighting and paintings, and I can see totally different than what other people see, and the installation aspect, and all that knowledge is coming from those experiences.
Um, shit. I got so much shit going on in my head. I get so many questions. I knew there was so much more to you, um, and but I didn't know how much. Right, as you meet somebody, and you shake their hand, it's the tip of the iceberg. Right, it's just what is he? What else is there? Um, I don't know if you ever seen the. So sometimes at the festivals, at the you might have even remembered this at NFT NYC. We were at La Musica, and some guy
Yeah.
had a, I don't know if you remember this guy. He was on the dance floor. He had some type of like head on,
Mm-hmm.
but it had lights in it, and it was
Yeah,
all
remember that. That was in the party, and yeah, I
yeah.
remember that.
You
It was
remember that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's beautiful to see that type of art applying too. Those are no heavy things. These are light batteries, a small LED. Actually, I think I have a few of them in IG where I were doing bottles or clear bottles, different colors with lighting inside the bottles for ambient light. So at Christmas, you don't have to have all the lights off. You can have those day battery that looks like a cord plug into the bottle and give you a really nice lighting. So now the technology has been growing and growing and growing so much that now you can apply lighting to those custom, in the battery is not that heavy to carry on. It's not much that you need to put lights and equipment now. You can grab the design, send it to China, find a factory to make it, they ship it back to you, and that's it. That's the end. It's that easy these days. In that aspect, you can design anything, and then you can find a manufacturer in China. They can make whatever you want.
I feel like the painting is nothing compared to what's on the horizon for you. I don't know why I keep seeing these like statues, and just knowing and talking to you more and more. Right, you have the electric knowledge, which is you can light these things any which way you possibly want. You can make eyes and designs. You have the upholstery background with the material background, which means you could then decorate it any which way you want. You have the carpentry and the wood. I mean, oh my goodness, man, the shit that
I,
you could probably build.
I
Um,
can I
that,
can do a house. I can do the house and everything in the house.
yeah, no,
Like
I'm talking about like I see
no,
statues,
no, no.
bro. Like,
Meaning like I know how to work with concrete. Not because I study the whole concrete things, no, because I work with. So for many years in downtown Tampa, when I started working in the construction site, I started working back in 2005, beginning of 2006. So when I went going through the apprenticeship program, in every floor they had to put concrete. Before they put the concrete, we had to put all the electrical in the slab. And next day, when they're going to pour the concrete, I had to be present for the pour, making sure that they don't damage all the conduits or the cables or anything like that. So imagine how many hours I put there with those concrete guys, to the point that because I have to be there at 4 in the morning, they started pouring.
You learned how to do concrete.
I just sit down with them and then, okay, can I use this? And then, you're there already and you waiting for them to finish, and then you doing something. And then you learn, they teach you, no, this work this way, the concrete mix is this way, and this is this way. And now it's a second hand for me to grab something for concrete and put it together. Sometimes you work with the masons as well. That's beautiful experience working with masons. Why? Because most of them, they calm and methodic, and you can have conversations as they put the block together, and then you have to put your conduits, but you're always talking. And some of the guys, it's really nice to talk because they have a really background in carpentry and masonry, coming back from whatever country they're coming from. Most of them were Mexicans, and I have really good um, familiarity with Mexicans because I worked for so many years with them, and to be able to find really good friendship through those years working together. And still to this day, I have friends that still working with me 18 years after the fact, and good friendships through work, and really nice experience.
Let me ask you a question. Do you home theaters, right? Or you've ever seen the inside of the interior of the roofs of the Rolls Royces? They have the fiber optics. You could buy the fiber optic piece. You could hide it in the ceiling, and then you can run it through the. You could run all the pieces through the ceiling, and then you make a star ceiling. It's always. I actually have the. I bought a kit, a 300-watt kit, two of them, to do this hallway. I was gonna call it. It's this hall. It connects my office to my studio. I call it the hallway of dreams, right? And it's supposed to be a star ceiling. It's always one of my favorite things were those LED with the fiber optics. I feel like you could be you could so creative with everything, right? Everything could be implemented into art or creating art, whether it's a statue or a sculpture or anything. You got all this knowledge, and then a lot of times I don't know why. You ever see the Chinese dragons? The whole bodysuit where there's like 10 people inside the bodysuit, but you ever see how intricate those heads are with the lights and the eyes? And it's like, I don't know why. I was like, I just feel like for some reason, I feel like one day you're going to come out with one of those heads. It's going to be like all your skills together in one, work of art, and just blow people's minds with the lighting and just all, a lot of different skills, Carlos. A lot of different skills.
To be honest with you, um, I don't see myself creating this thing. I saw myself creating something bigger than that, making something autonomous. They supply themselves whatever it needs. So I don't want to go to details to this. It's still, it's still an idea that is already in paper, and working through something that it will change history for sure.
Okay.
And so that's my vision, and it being in my head now for a while. Finally, a couple months, actually, when my brother was here, we sit down and talking about in the garage. We came out with a plan. We designed the drawing. We put some notes. We um, saw that everything is possible if you use the principles the way it's supposed to be, and it just it's about time. It's timing, and I think when that come out, you want to be one of the first one to know when that happens. So it's gonna be something brilliant.
I feel like we're about an hour and 15 minutes in, and hang on, I want to do something real quick while I talk to you, but I feel like this. Uh, I feel like there's so much more than just the painting on the horizon, you know. But I want to move over to the computer. But you know, I used to have this friend. His name was Rob Smith. I went to high school with him, and during lunch break, in junior and senior year, we were able to. Well, in Westchester, you were able to drive at 16. In the Bronx, you had to be 17. So I remember when we were 16, we could drive. You know, you could drive up in New Rochelle, and so we would drive to Lord and Taylor. And I was like, "What are we doing here on our fucking lunch break?" Like, bro, we're in the mall. He's like, "Just be quiet, be quiet." He used to bring me to the perfume counter, and he 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 he, he had this thing where he was all about samples. And he said, "Just shut up. Just we're not gonna buy shit because we were kids. It's high school, so we didn't have that much money. It's like I can't afford this shit." He said, "Shut up." We had high school dances, right? And one of Rob Smith's number one rule was always smell good. You always want to smell good for the ladies. Always smell good for the ladies, right? And that was like his big rule. And so he taught me how he'd go to Lord and Taylor's, and he would go to the perfume counter, and always with the fucking samples. This kid, he's like, "Let me samples. You have samples." And so we would go from one to the next to just spray it on the card, Chanel #5, all this shit. It was like, "You have a sample? Thank you." And so I didn't know about samples. He's the one who taught me about the little thin bottles and little tiny sample bottles. So by the time we got out of Lord and Taylor at lunch break, I said, "You feel like you robbed the store." I had like 30 samples of all these different colognes, and now you go home, you try, you see which one smells the best on you. So that's that story from when I was 16 has never left my head, And knowing you and knowing that you know perfume and scents, so I had to do this because you're gonna get a chuckle out of it. But are you ready? You want to head over to the computer, start showing everybody your art?
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right,
let's
all right.
do.
But before we do, Carlos, I gotta make sure I gotta make sure I smell good for this. So yeah,
There you go.
Carlos, you're killing me tonight. Because if anybody would have told me that all of this was gonna come out tonight, I would have said no way. I knew I knew you were a handy dude, but I didn't know perfumes and upholstery, and I had no idea. And you're bringing out all these memories in me. Oh man, I don't tell that Rob Smith story very much, but you got to spray and you got to walk through it, right? Walk through it, and all right. Where do we start? Hang on, let me re-rig these screens. You got me cracking up over here, Carlos, because if you would have, I would have never guessed all of this. I wouldn't have guessed the baseball thing. I would not have guessed the perfume thing. The upholstery thing blew me away. Talk to me about while I set everything up. Talk to me about lighting on art, because I know you mentioned that once or twice. How important is lighting when lighting a piece of artwork? and the different ways to do it. It does a bulb matter? Does the way the angle it hits the artwork matter? Certain distance? Does that be flood or spot? Does all of that come into play, or am I just nuts? Uh, you know,
Yeah, everything. Lighting is so important in the art. I'm really mindful when I create because I create with different type of lighting. So I like to create a night and a good conversation. I always one of my best painting coming that way just because I know the the environment is thoughtful and perfect for that. Most of the time I spend so many night by myself and creating. And night light is totally different of daylight. So one of the things that I implementing is having really good lighting to paint in different angles. So in the back of the painting, in the front of the painting. And when I do my eyes specifically, you can go to any um, part of the room and you feel that the eyes are looking at you no matter where you place yourself on. And that had to do a lot with the lighting. Um, I paint night early in the morning with the sunrise at the daylight, and then I take a look to the painting and know what to do to fix it or to improve or to add to because the lighting, and that give me the ability of be able to show the best of the painting. So if you look the painting in the 45 degrees angle, you will see something different that you don't see when you look in the painting in the front side view. And that's, in my study, Leonardo da Vinci used to use a technique they call sfumato technique. That's when they go all over and over with the same color, light and light and light, and to give the effects that painting is moving or floating or looking you in a different way. That's one of the brilliant things about the Mona Lisa, because the angles uh, trick your eyes and you think that there's moving the view where you're looking at. And I love that technique in one of my favorite techniques to use in my paintings. Color matter. I always like to start my painting not with white, but with gray. And after the gray, orange or red in the bottom for my base, and then start the colors on top of that because that gives light to the painting when the pigment of the light reflected to it. And that's one of my favorite techniques to use in paintings. And you see the one of the faces, if it's a face or if it's an eye, and then you see the details of the eye, it's really warm and welcome. Those feelings, warm, I like to use it all the time. And that's what make me unique when you look in one of my paintings and then you know there was me that worked in that painting and make it different to everybody else.
have you ever? And I know you answered this already because I already heard you answer it. But have you ever seen? Are you a fan of Seinfeld at all? Do you ever watch the Seinfeld shows?
Yeah.
Do you remember the show with the lighting where I don't know if it was Jerry. I think Jerry was dating a female, and she would be in good lighting, and she would look awesome, and then she would be in another different lighting, and she would look absolutely terrible. I don't know if you remember that episode, but for a photographer, people don't realize the way, in the beginning of my shoots, I'll always spin people around because you would be surprised. You could be off a little bit of an angle, right? And it could be terrible lighting. You can make one adjustment to somebody, the way they turn, the way the light comes across their face, and all of a sudden, they completely. Cinematographers, they always do lighting tests with actors, because I don't know if you ever, you probably heard this. Oh, get my good side, get my good side. But it's lighting. Lighting is super important because you would be surprised. Sometimes you see people take photos and it's like, oh my God, I look terrible in this photo, but I look great in this photo. A lot of times, lighting has that effect. You know, I'm sure. Just listening to you speak, it's the way you light a painting probably has a very dramatic effect in the way it's displayed, in the feelings that come off it, the colors. Just you to turn the bulb the wrong way, and you could probably hurt the way it looks, uh, rather than help the way it looks.
Yeah, I really cautious about it because my painting they change with the lights. So if we have daylight in the house, it's a painting that I have in the front and the entrance. When I come into the house, they always bring me a smile. I don't know why, but that's the feeling that I always get with that painting. One of my favorite paintings. I named that painting after my grandmother, Luisa, and I think it's one of my best painting. Not because of the name, but also because it was made with mindfulness and everything that I put in in the word had to have that feeling, the vibe, the good energy going through that painting because that energy is gonna transmit it to somebody else. I don't really care if the people like the painting or not. I that's that second thing. If you like it, you resonate with it. I'm happy. But when I create, I don't create for anybody else. I create for myself. If you resonate with my paintings, and then that's a plus. Really grateful that that happened. But the intention behind the creation is always a healing, gratefulness, mindfulness, and to bring that energy to the universe if somebody that need it.
Um, I see the well. I'm starting. I'm taking us through the gram from the beginning. I brought up. I have your X up. I also have your website up, but I figured we kind of flick through the gram. I don't know if you have a particular place you want to start. If you just want me to start on the gram and go through it
Yeah,
while we're talking.
yeah, you can go to the ground.
Okay, okay. I got your link tree up, so I got everything up. We're gonna go through everything. Um, all right, let me. But I saw the bottles with the lights in them, Carlos, and man, you making me work today. Hang on one second. Um, I don't know if you ever seen a lot of really creative stuff. And a lot of times you'll see photographers take the colored LEDs. And so I've been saving this bottle because I don't know if you can see it, but I've been saving this bottle to do some colored LEDs in it. And I'm looking at your bottles with the LED lights in them. And you probably see the photos all over IG when they get really creative. They have people hold the bottles and whatnot. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm flicking through. I could tell a lot of creativity in you, Carlos. Um, talk to me about the how did the painting how did the painting come in existence? Because I only know you as a painter, right? I don't know you as anything else. The point of the conversation is to get to know you and understand you. But how did the I would have. I'm serious, bro. With everything that you do, I would have figured you for sculptures and I know something's coming, right? I just know something with that is cooking in the oven, like you said. But how'd the painting come to be? Like, when did you start painting and creating?
So back in 2020, that's I had time. 2020, I had time. We spent a lot of time in the house. Jane come to me once and said, "Look, I saw you drawing all the time. Why you don't look in the NFT?" And I don't have a clue of what NFT was at that time. And I say, "Well, I take a look." So I did my research. Yeah, I started looking into all these projects at that time, and I was talking to myself. I said, "How I want to compete with all this art?" I mean, it was like crazy, the creation that people were doing at that time, and all the paintings. I don't know anything about digital art. I have friends that are digital designers and all that. They know how to work in Photoshop and all these programs, but I don't have a clue how to do anything digital. And Jen told me about NFT. I do my research, and then I start looking into how I can digitize my artwork. And when we went in 2022, I met so many cool people that encouraged me to do it because I bring one of my books that I draw all the time and show it to them, and they said, "You need to be minting this work." So that's when I basically started going bananas, I just say, because I came from New York in 2022. By October, I have over 300 paintings created, and that's when the ice collection was starting to um, be put in place, and that's basically what you're seeing now on Instagram.
The
Through the
was what were the 300 paintings during the I'm gonna say it was COVID, the COVID lockdowns and all that time. Is that when you kind of started, or
No, not at all. To be honest with you, I only have a few paintings at that time. I have a lot of hand drawings and sketches, and normally what I sketch is basically Jennifer, friends, my mom, friends, just people in general. But most of my drawing at that time sketches was Jennifer. And when I come back from New York, that's when basically I start painting with acrylic. I put a lot of colors on it, and I don't stop. So I jump in these spaces. We stay 1, 2 in the morning, and the space is going. I painting. I'm in the listening side, and that's basically I just jump in a group of friends. They love to do art, and encourage me to do the art, and it was like I was in heaven creating. And when the photo shoot happened for the first collection, I was surprised how many painting I was doing. In the beginning was a small paintings, like 10 by 6 by 10s and 10 by 10s, and translate to 16 by 20s. And it was like a really amazing energy for creation at that time. And it was nonstop, creating, selling paintings, going to the market, selling all the canvases there, selling Spider-Mans for the kiddos because they like those. And I enjoy so much to create those. And nice feeling, like, and then that moving up to be accepted to 2022 NFT NYC with one of my paintings, Amy's Dream. That one I was painting in a space actually because I was thinking about Amy Whitehouse, how she died, and it was anniversary of her, something like that. And then in my music list, it popped up one of the songs, and I started painting, and that was what came out that night after the conversation with my friends in the space. And that one got accepted for the showcase in Times Square in New York in 2023.
what did you ever paint before? I mean, did you just started painting?
No, 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 no style in painting, no in that level. But I always paint, I always draw, I always create. So after my first conference in New York that year, 2022, and then I started painting, and then we went a group of friends. You can see the footage also over there in the ground. Um, Miami, 2022, um, where we just basically a bunch of friends and gathering together in a house. Jen made this happen, and that's basically a way how One Love start building as a group of friends. Basically, that's the first actually residency, if you want to call it like that, because it was 18 people in the house painting all day and sharing art, enjoying art, and going to the events together, watching all these art in the art district in Miami, Wynwoods, and just meeting with people, painting and painting parties, and just doing all those, meeting all these people that basically come back to be your friends. Now, look how the journey um, is being accomplished. Now, Jennifer, we are all the friends will be able to create an organization that is supporting now plus 500 artists everywhere. And that's basically the origin of that. But all the credit to her because she's the one always putting together the things and make things happen.
So you telling me One Love was born at a painting parties in your house?
Not in my house. Actually, in Miami, 2022, we went NFT NYC. We are friends there. We meet a bunch of friends that we've been talking in the space physically, and then we went down to Miami. And Miami, we have a resident house, Airbnb,
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
and we there we a bunch of other friends painting, uh, just enjoying life basically, and just going through the journey. And yeah, that's basically when I start deeply in Web3 art, to taking art to a different level. Um, and that's basically, I should say, the year of the awakening was 2022.
I often say that if you ever a lot of times in spaces, I will say I met some of the best people I felt like I met in life in spaces from Web3, and then a chance to get them meet everyone live. And I think a lot of times people are, you meet somebody online, and maybe you feel like that's not them, and then you meet them in life and you're like, holy shit, it's like talking to you in spaces, but the real thing. That doesn't happen a lot of times because a lot of times I think you open up a YouTube or you open up an Instagram and you're watching someone, right? And you're only seeing really what they're showing you, right? But in spaces, completely different. There's all this interaction, and I feel like the internet has really warped us in a way because, um, I've who was I talking to about this? And somebody said, I heard some. Oh shit! I cannot remember who said this. Somebody said, "Don't ever meet your heroes, because it'll it'll you look up to somebody and then you meet them for the first time, right? And they're
Yeah.
somebody completely different than what you expected. Um, and that's where I kind of feel like Spaces in Web3 broke through all that because it allowed people to interact with each other. And from the interaction and from the spaces, it's very difficult to be someone else. You kind of have to be yourself. You can only be someone else for so long before people spot that. And then if you meet somebody outside, they kind of got to match that person that is in spaces. And so I tend to feel like a lot of real people show up in spaces because you meet them in real life and you're like, holy shit, This is just like Spaces, but real.
Yeah.
So I was resonating with what you had said when you said it's like creating it feels like heaven or a dream to be
Yeah.
able to create with all of these friends that you met from Web3 and Spaces and it's interesting how One Love formed and getting stronger and all the great work that Jenny and the crew and all you guys, Chaz, every little piece that all of you guys have done, but a lot of it has come from that Web3 atmosphere and that community and those spaces, because you see a lot of the One Love artists, all you guys hang out in the same spaces. A lot of you guys support each other. It's just a real strength when it comes to seeing how you guys roll online and in spaces. And people don't realize the history between people but a lot of, like I said, a lot of times you meet people and it's like, this is not what I expected, but it's not like that in Web3. Um,
Well, I mean, I'm really happy and privileged, to be honest, that I was be able to inspire all the people to do the same thing. Like I remember Juan even mentioned um, when he was speaking the other night that he was with us in Times Square when I was watching Amy's dream in Times Square. I mean, I felt like family. I with my two kids, with Jennifer, but I also had the cartel with me, Luco,
yeah,
Yusapat,
yeah,
and Juan. They were there with me and Chaz as well. And it was to be bonded, I should say. That's one of the moments that you always remember. And that moment, it was the inspiration for those guys to be there next year. And they were so hard to do that, like it was a lot of work for them because they want to be there. They've been accomplishing a lot after that inspiration. And I feel really privileged and happy, to be honest, that moment was inspired because I was be able to make it. They supported me, and I was, it was like one of those moments that you surrounded by family and the new friends that you've been talking in the spaces for years now are coming to be part of your family, and you can call it brothers, and and when they there for you when you need it. And it's a really beautiful way to be able to grow in the space. But one of the biggest thing is to be support each other, and I think one of the biggest thing One Law do is that, supporting the artists no matter what. And Jenny, Charles, Luke, and Sarks, they doing a great job to be able to do that. We the people that really need it.
I mean, he said on the show, he was like, it's like a family barbecue. And I remember I was trying, you guys had the showing on was it Tuesday night? Was Tuesday night the opening thing? Right. So it was Monday night. You guys had the showing on Monday night. And I think it was Monday night, right? So
Uh, Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Monday night or Tuesday night.
oh,
One of
was Wednesday night the opening?
uh,
Oh man, I'm confused now. Why am I not remembering this correctly? Because Thursday it ended, Friday was the Oculus. So
yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday were the big days. So Tuesday night. Okay, Tuesday night was the opening night for the speakers. So you guys had the showing on Monday night. You guys had the billboard thing on Monday night, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we had the opening. Yeah, in the Billboard. Yeah,
Right? And
Monday.
I remember, so I was talking to Chaz, and I'm like, Chaz, you gonna be there too? He's like, we're gonna be, and we got the thing on the corner. He's like, why don't you just come down? Why don't you come down? And I'm like, all right. I was like, let me see if I can make it down there in time. What time is this whole thing showing? And I remember I brought a friend, and she's like, "Are you gonna be able to recognize?" I'm like, "That bunch of," I'm like, "How am I gonna recognize them? It's a bunch of artists hanging out on a corner." I was like, and on top of it, half of them were on the show. So we're gonna go look for a bunch of people, a bunch of artists, look familiar, and they'll all be looking up at a billboard. It'd be easy. They'd be easy to spot. They'd be easy to spot. And then, sure enough, walking across the street, there's there's a whole group of you guys, and I'm like, holy shit, there they all are. I'm like, that's Chaz. I'm like, that's you. I'm like, he's just like spaces in real life, And I'm like, there they all are. I'm like, and that was like my first contact with you guys. I was like, holy shit. It came out of spaces at that moment. It felt like and I remember Juan had said on his show, it was like a big family barbecue. And I was like, yeah, couldn't have said it better, man. So such a good vibe. And to think that was all built from spaces. At least in my opinion, it was, because I felt like spaces really formed the bonds. And you could hear when you talk to people, I like this person, or I like that person, or I want to support. You could hear the passion. And then you match that with the art. And then you see people in real life, and you're like, holy shit. They really are what they really behave the same way. And then right then and there, it's somebody genuine rather than meeting somebody and them not being anything what you thought, I guess this is definitely a collab with Anna for 100% sure. So talk to me about NFTs. Now you're getting the NFTs, right? And it's obviously we passed a couple. You made some sales. You did some sales. What was it? Just strictly NFT sales, or did you decide to do the physical with the digital? How was your mind working at that time when you were deciding the list? Was it just digital? Was it digital and physical? Did you do the physical separately? It seems like you're kind of attacking it from both ends. The digital end, you're using the digital piece, and then also the physical piece as well. So what was your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, as we creating the digital NFT, most of the people that got the NFT, they want the physical.
Okay.
As a, like they really bound with the piece and they ask for the pricing of the physical. And because they got the NFT, most of the time you get a discount. That was really, it was really joyful to be able to send a physical piece to these people. And when they open, to realize that it was not too much a difference between the original and the physical, and the digital and the physical. And the conversation always was that, like if you're buying a physical piece from me and you already had an NFT, it will not be so much of the difference between the original piece and the one digitally, because I will think it's not fair for the collector if I modify digitally the piece and then send a piece that don't even close to look like the one digital. And I was really always focused on that aspect in my creations. When I created the digital, really mindful about how the physical looks like. And most of the time I create the physical first and then I do the digital. And I might give some touches and here and there, but I try to be genuine most of the time.
Let me ask you your opinion on something, Carlos. Let's say as a photographer, you have because so this is an interesting conversation right now because you have a physical, and the NFT uh, is I'm gonna assume is it a photo of your physical? Is that
So the way that I came in the first collection, there was eyes. It was a photo shoot with a professional photographer for shooting all this art to put it to digitize. And then when you get to digitize, you bring it to the program, and then you scale it to put the pixel high so you can display in a big um, screen. So when you get the photo or the screen or the scanner up to digital, and now you bring it to the program and you scale it so it can be displayed with a better view, and you don't lose the pixels on the in the in the art. And that's the reason I just said that I was really cautious about when you do the digital to maintain the essence of the original.
Did anybody? So, yeah, and uh, correct me if I heard this right. When you sold the NFT, did the physical come with it, or was the physical a separate sale?
Separate cell.
Okay, so they would buy the NFT, and then if they were interested, they would buy
The
the
physical.
physical with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, did anybody have? Was it? Did everybody do that, or did some people just buy the NFT, or just some people bought the physical?
Yeah. Some people buy the NFT, but a bunch of the people that bought the NFT, they got the physical.
Okay. Did anyone ever have the physical, or who had the physical? Were they ever upset that there was? I'm going to assume that you did one of ones as the NFTs.
Yes.
Okay. Was there any upset at the fact that there was a separate version of this with collectors at all? Let's say I purchase the physical, but there's the digital out there, but it's the same thing. Did anybody ever have any?
No. No. I never have an issue with that. Uh, because they both have my signature. They authentical. They can live in the same ring, one physical, one digital. I don't change anything for either or. Now, when you hold the both pieces, now you have a peace of mind because now you have a piece that made this authentic in the blockchain plus the physical that make it happen. So
And your digitals, were they allowed to make a print of these if they had the NFT
yeah, they have the right to print it out for themselves, not to sell.
for display?
Yeah, for display, not to sell. Yeah,
Okay.
not for. I
I,
hold all the for business.
so the only reason I'm asking, right, is because I have a photo, right, and decided to sell a physical of the photo, and I spoke to a few collectors, and it seemed like they didn't like the idea if the the same exact photo existed as an NFT. If you had the ability to purchase it as an NFT and then print it, they didn't like the idea that that existed, right? That they had that. So I don't know if it really is the same because technically you have paintings and they are physicals. They're signed, the paint is raised, there's a canvas, right? Whereas if someone bought the NFT, um, it was they could make a print of it and that's the end of it. It doesn't have a signature. It's not the same as the physical. Where I felt like that was the same kind of thing. If you have a print of mine, you're going to have a signature on the back. It's going to come with a certificate of authenticity. Where if you had bought the NFT of that print, um, I guess you have the ability to print it out, but that it's not the same as me sending you an official numbered print with a certificate of authenticity. So I
Yeah.
was just curious what what that's why I was asking because I was wondering.
Most of the physical had the signature in the back of the painting plus the authentication sign for me. And not only that, it's registered in the blockchain that it's only 1/6 of those copies.
I'm up to I as we're flicking away here. I am up to NFT
Oh,
NYC from this year.
yes.
I'm just
Yeah, I don't have too many pictures from NFT this year. But you can see also some of the. I did a painting live on Instagram for the one in Canvas 3.0, and that was a really good cool piece. To be honest, I was really happy the way it came out. The energy was right, and I'm really happy for the collector that has it. So
when you were painting live stream, kind of under this where most times when you paint, you have the luxury to paint as long as it takes, right? But when you're live painting, you get a little bit under these time constraints, right? The length of the event, you got to get it done. Uh,
yes.
any thoughts on that?
No, I was I paint two, three paintings at the same time when I'm painting at the house. So for me, painting one, only one, and the light show is joyful, to be honest. I try to enjoy the moment, just give the audience, they don't know where it's going to come out, and then to be able to pull it off in that short period of time with a good quality. That was my main goal. So I think I was be able to do it, and I was really happy with the way it come out.
Okay, we just got through your gram. Um, I'm going to bring up your website now, which I'm pretty sure the majority of these were on the gram as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm also then. Yeah, some of them are not. But
Do you have a set standard, Carlos, that you paint a certain size, or how do you determine the? I mean, it looks like from I could be wrong. I might be saying something wrong. Do you have a particular size that you like to paint? Uh,
well, so I like the 16 by 20, give it the flexibility that you can wear in three canvases at the same time. But I move on from 16-20 to bigger canvases. Being working now in 30 by 40s, that's the size that I want to be working for the next year. I might do some exercise in the small canvases um, to see what is going to come off for the big ones. Normally, I do the sketches in my sketchbook, go through it, and then bring it to the iPad.
Hang on. Let me ask this question. Hang on. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, do you have a? Well, no, I wasn't gonna say it, but I was thinking about it. But then you just kind of jumped ahead of me. What is there your process? You want to share your process a little?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I start with the like you see this is you see that one was 2024 and the NYC. That's one of my favorites.
Is that hologram? Did you?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
all of
Oh, nice, good shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So this one was this year NFT NYC. You can see, let's see, here you go. You see it right there. That's a hologram. I love these stickers. They're really good quality.
Yeah. No shit.
And
Do you determine what's a hologram on that, or is the whole? Or
I I design it in Canvas, and then I bring it to whoever is printed. I specify what I want.
is that a hologram stock? Is that what it's printed on?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So basically, my process is not that complicated. Everything started like something like this in here. See, something like that,
Okay.
and then I bring it to my iPad, and then
Over a little more, right in front of your. Hold it right in front of your face.
oh, here you go.
There you
Right
go.
here.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So something like that. I start. That's something that I start. You see some. Let's see right there. You can see all the little inside the painting is a lot of things going on. inside the sketch. You can see right there, numbers, letters, things like that.
Okay.
And then something like that, it keep evolving to something like different, like this. And some ideas in my daily sketch, if you see all the characters in my IG or anything like that, you see something is so familiar to the way I do it. And start changing concept, thinking something different. Always, you will see always red coming up in my paintings. I love red. And all these concepts that I put in paper here, um, eventually, and then you start seeing something like that. That's kind of similar. This is where the one that I paint in New York, right there. So before I even got to New York, I already had the concepts in my mind, everything. You see,
Okay.
so now,
Okay. Well, that makes sense now, Carlos.
so you see, everything was recorded in my head. Now I
Yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah. I got you. You were prepared.
yes,
I got it.
it's no guessing at that point when you're doing that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I got you.
So
I
you,
guess when you're on under the gun like that, right? You have to have it in your head already.
yeah,
Right. Okay. All right.
always going from most of the time is one female, one male. I don't know why, but that's the way my mind works, and I always um, go to and some different, some abstract painting with different concepts and whatever I feeling in that moment, and then I bring those out to reality if I go to this. So everything is already preset, so I can come out and go to the canvas. Say I know what to do, the combination of the colors. Everything is already set up. I don't have to look at it. It's already registered in my mind. I can go and pull it off the same way it's in the drawings in a big scale.
I feel like that sketchbook is the museums are going to be after that, Carlos.
And then, so you find things like this one, always looking for the heart, expressing love and gratitude to the woman. And of course, it's my wife, always the musa of my dreams. And, always.
So that's the idea. That's all that's where all the ideas are, huh?
Yeah, so everything is in my mind. It's go to the book. I try to do one every day. Even it's not complete, at least the idea is out there, and you have you read on in your hand when you're painting. So muscle memory is always important. And my process is simple. I put in the sketch. Um, if I want to try some colors, I bring it to the iPad. In the iPad, I try different colors, different concepts. If I don't like it, I just drop it, find something else. Most of the time, I like, faces, portrait, colorful, um, one color palette. Sometimes, like the one in New York was really nice because that one was a lot of energy on it, and one of my fine word for the occasion, I should say.
I'm just scrolling through your open sea. I'm going through all your links, Carlos. In case you don't know me,
Yeah,
I like to go through everything like the FBI likes to go through drawers.
so I will show you. If you go to if you an open seat right now, you will find one is glory. Just look that one.
Is that Under the Eyes by Carlos?
Yes,
Okay.
you find the one is glory right there. You pass it. It's called. It's a. I show you the physical piece, so you can. That's in Jennifer office, by the way. Okay. So this is the physical piece.
Glory. This is that's the one you made this no, no, no.
No, no, that's a different.
Right, 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 right. I was gonna say that's not the hologram. Okay. I got it open next to you. All right.
So you see it there. So you can see the details in the eyes.
What's going on in the eyes, Carlos?
Because I always it's like a signature for me, island, eyes, island. So I always pay respect for where I'm coming from, being the Dominican Republic, one of the beautiful islands of the Caribbean. I always
Island. Island.
it's always have really nice energy. Um, I always like to put it in my drawings. I love the islands. I learned how to paint islands when I was really small, and since then, I think I'm fascinated by that blue energy. It's always remind me where I'm coming from.
Yeah. It says not like New York weather.
Not at all.
I never got to well, no, that's not true. I mean, I know what island life is, but I've never grown up in island life. And that's a different type of vibe.
Yeah, it's different totally. New York is New York. The rest of the world is different.
What's the story with the numbers going on in the background? Do they mean anything? Do they have any meaning?
Yes, we talking about which on time?
Hang on. Tiempo.
Yes, time. That's what I mean in Spanish.
Okay.
Tiempo. So yes, it was a that piece. Um, if you see the degradation and the colors
I see the
coming,
clock.
yes,
Okay.
it's time clicking. That piece for me is it's really personal. Because that piece was after the father, Jennifer grandmother passed away. And that's when you realize the time is just, the time go quick when you thinking that you have time to do things. And that's when you start adjusting your life. You start doing things that you were living for, doing later, and you never get to do it just because you get busy working or doing other things, and your priority change. And when that time comes, you don't know what to do. And really personal piece, the reflecting, the time, the silence, the grief, or not be able to do what you want to do when you need to do. And then that's the reflection, that's the color dropping down on the face. Basically, that's what the tongue is coming out. Just time go and you never get it back.
I went to a 50th birthday party about 2 weeks ago. One of my best friends, and his brother was there, and his brother was feeling no pain, and his brother came running up to me, and he was, "Let me tell you something. If you got an idea," and so earlier that week, was it that week? Was it that? No, that was Friday. Okay, so the weekend before, I was in Jersey on Sunday. I was at a beach club, and these two kids were kite surfing, and one of them, slided up on the shore, and it was probably the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. It was just really smooth. And he brought down his kite, and I was like, holy shit, bro. I'm like, that's like one of the smoothest entrances I've ever seen anyone ever just And so immediately I'm just like, I want to learn how to kite surf. And you go a week later, and I bump into my friend's brother at his party. And I remember always thinking about this kite surfing, but not only that, but thinking about time, and how we get distracted so much, especially now with the internet and just so many things going on. And his brother, just there was a moment, where he's like, "Let me tell you," he grabs me, "Let me tell you something, man. It's something you want to do. Do it now, 'cause time, man, be too late. It's gonna be too late tomorrow." And I felt like the universe was talking to me, bro. And now I don't know why. I guess I was curious about the numbers behind the pieces, the meaning behind it. I didn't necessarily mean to stop on this piece, but
That it was it's you see the nose is the heart. If you notice,
yes,
it
yes.
has so many pieces, and
It's
the
it
way,
looks like an old man.
yeah, I mean the distribution and the color, it was seeing, if you see the red one, a lot there is, it's painful. That was the green area is, you don't even know what you want to do, and it's more yellow areas than anything else. It's just because it's warm and it's passing quick. So
Yeah,
when you
get moving.
it's going quick, and you don't know what to do basically. And when situation present to you, is to remind you, you need to stop and do what you feel like. So 2 years ago, I stopped playing baseball again after I don't play for 20 years. And I feel like a kid running in the field. Like I have so much joy, even when next day my whole body was in pain. I don't even care. But I run to that field like so joyful. And it's been 2 years now that I'm playing every Sunday. And to be honest, it changed. It changed a lot in the way that you see things, and you don't know how much time you have here. But those moments, that's the only moment that you feel free doing what you like to do.
What do you is it hardball, softball,
Well, I play in a league 30 over 30 baseball.
oh, baseball. Okay.
Yeah.
It must feel good to be playing again.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
I didn't even you said you didn't want to talk too much on that, but man, I had questions about that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're about 2 hours 15. Okay, Carlos. Uh, I took everybody through the gram. I brought everybody through the website. I brought everybody through um OpenSea, the I collection. Did I have I missed anything? Is there anything in particular you want to talk about or show, or did I?
Not, not necessarily, like I said, besides an artist, I'm a collector and patron. And I think my purpose and right now is supporting more the creating in certain aspect. I always create, and always painting, always have something to do and support. My main focus right now is support Jennifer and One Love and the projection that they're going, um, and trying to put together something meaningful for next year for my career. Want to do showcasing solo in the Dominican Republic, and it's a conversation that already was happening with Jennifer, and see how we want to be able to put that together. So that's one of the plans for now, and just but the biggest thing right now is supporting her and what she's looking for, and try to make happen anything that they have to do with One Love at this moment.
Well, I'll say this: you guys are on fire. Yeah, I had a great showing at NFT NYC. Um, I know for sure Hudasaka Juan's event was a success. I saw the posts. It was nice that he's seen some success. I feel like he deserves it. He's an awesome human being, and I'm glad that I had a chance to get. I can't tell you how many times I send out the show or I talk to somebody and I'm like, hey, I got these dates. Here's a list of dates, and there's one that's like right, next week, and everybody always, give me the end of next month, and I'm like, come on, because somebody's got to pick next week, and it's like Carlos. I was like, look at these dates here. I was like, any of these? Yeah, next week. I'll do next. I'm like, really? Yeah. I'm like, my man. So I'm glad that I had a chance to get you on the show. I had asked a lot of people from NFT NYC, and then I went to the Hamptons Fine Art Fair, and I had asked a bunch of people there, and before, I got groups that I want to get on the show before I move from one to the next. I don't want to, so there's a whole group of people from NFT NYC, and you were one of them that I was excited to have on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for making it easy, bro. And thank you for the great conversation. Really, very, very interesting, Carlos, man. And I bet you that's only like probably 25%. I bet you there's another whole. Sitting here talking about the sewing machine. You blew my mind, bro. And then the perfume, and you brought back. Yeah, you got me talking about. I forgot all about that. I shot for this show, Unique Whips, and you brought all this other stuff out of me that I never talk about. Holy shit. Okay, Carlos. Real quick. What's the best way for people to find you? How do they get into contact with you? Reach out to you? What's the where do you normally check?
Well, they can find me on Instagram. They can find me on Twitter. They can find me on my website at carlosaquinoart.com. And if they want to reach out to me, they can reach out there. They can DM me on Twitter. They can DM me on Instagram. And if they want to find me quickly, they have to reach out to Jennifer. That's the best way to reach out.
Okay. Hang on. Let me bring up Jenny's profile. Jenny switched her picture, and I'm not used to this new picture. And every time I bring her up, I'm looking for her, and it's just I was like, wait a second. So I forget that she switched the picture. So hang on, Carlos. Let me just do this real quick. All right, guys. So this is his ex, right here. On his ex, he has a link tree. So if you click here, it'll bring up his link tree. Also, he said the best place to find him is on Instagram. So this is his Instagram where you can DM him. Let me bring this up. Make sure this is centered. Okay. And then also his website, guys. This is his website right here. He's got his number right at the top. So he's yeah. That's why I love the fact that you got your number. Is that your cell phone? Does it come right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love people who got their cell phone front and center. It's like I don't give a shit who calls me. Just I'm ready to do business, and I like that. I like that. It shows it's serious. So this is his website, guys. I think there's probably a contact. Yes, of course there is. This is a contact. This is where you can reach out to him. He's got his number right here, and also
my AI there. You can talk to the AI also and request a conversation or call back or anything like that. It's there.
And also, you know what? I'm going to just bring this up because you have it here. But here's his LinkedIn. We're going to open up his LinkedIn. So let me bring this over and make sure everybody sees your LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, you can find Carlos on LinkedIn.
The business for my electrical work there. You can find me as an artist as well.
Okay, follow you. Okay, well, there we go. I got you on LinkedIn. Everybody tells me, Mark, if you're serious, you got to get on LinkedIn, and I don't take LinkedIn serious at all. And then, guys, this is Jenny's profile where he said if you really want to get in touch with them super fast, reach out to Jenny, and she'll get in touch with them. Okay. Carlos, did we cover everything? We get everything?
I think we got everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me set these screens back for a second, and then we'll get ready, and we'll close out the show here. 2 hours and 20 minutes. That fast.
That quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a scratch, you know.
Pretty fast, Carlos. I when the shows first start, you know, I always say I look at the time and I'm like, so man, we got an hour conversation. And then before you know it, 2 hours and 20 minutes flies by that quick. And by the time I'm finished, I'm like, holy shit, man. But I always love the part where I get to know an artist and get to know their background, and I find the conversation always fascinating. And today, my friend, it was very. You made it very interesting to me for me. So I appreciate that. Why are we not showing anything live here? Where are you, Sony? Why are you not coming online, Sony? There we go. Okay. Let me bring over here. All the screens are right. Everything's good. Okay. All right. Okay. Carlos, you mentioned about a future solo show. Is there anything in the works that we have to look forward that you might want to talk about outside of the solo show?
No. As we move along to next year, you know, we'll be wanna be posting about it, and for sure it's gonna be a lot of information going through, and you know, we be communicating to the media and letting know people that we're doing that, and you know, we might update, maybe start posting every day where it's coming or what type of art is going to be displayed over there, and maybe opportunity to showcasing. We might do something in conjunction with One Love. Nothing in concrete yet, but playing wise, we've been talking about doing NDR show for a while now, and then after the year passed through, we start putting things together and looking forward that that happen for real. And the conversation already started, the planning already started. So that's one of my main goals for next year.
Okay. I was gonna say quickly that started running again, maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Hitting the gym, running again, and so I feel like I'm ready. Not baseball though. I used to play football, so I feel like I don't know. It's just I don't think that you should let age get ahead of you. I think you gotta stay ahead of age, and the best way to do that is by staying physically active, and it's just a different mindset. So yeah, it's nice to hear you playing baseball again, cause yeah, I hit the track. I got a good friend that lives across the street, and he said, "Come to the track, come to that." And this guy, man, he's a runner. He runs the shit out of me. He got me running. He got me up to 3.2 miles. I never ran 3.2 miles in my life, and I could probably say at 50, I ran 3.2 miles for the first time on Saturday, and he's super proud. But so I'm doing shit that I've never done before, and you know, he's a big fan of Goggins. You know, David. I think it's
Yeah, yeah, David Gaga.
so constantly sending me clips of Goggins, and I think Goggins is pretty old as well. I think he's 50. I think Goggins, and he's doing things that I don't think human beings have ever done. So it's amazing, the mind and the body, and never get old, right? So you made me think of all that with the baseball. I never
Sure.
got to answer you, but yeah, nice to hear that you're playing again. Um, Carlos, before we say goodnight, maybe you could leave us with some inspirational words for possibly, or maybe all the uh, people out there who I don't know. I don't know. Might want to upholster or start playing baseball, or I feel like you're the perfect person to leave us with some inspirational words, because age don't seem to be stopping you anytime soon.
No,
Um,
no.
Go
That's
ahead,
it.
man.
The universe will bring you what you need, and just start doing what you like and what you enjoy. Don't let anybody dictate your time. The only experience is gonna be yours. So do what you need to do.
All right. Got one last question for you, Carlos. Our guest always closes out with a song, so I don't know if you have a song in mind.
Yeah, put some Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Okay.
Hot Tropic.
Okay. Um, can you do me a favor? While I'm gonna close out the show, take me 2 minutes. While I do that, can you find that link for me and drop it in my DMs with the show?
Sure.
All right, awesome. All right, so Carlos, I want to say good night. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for jumping on the show. As everybody thanks me, but I think I get more. I get more. I love doing these shows, and I'm always very I'm very thankful for everyone's time. Um, Even though people, see it as me, I don't see it like that. I always want to say thank you for your time, your knowledge, coming on the show, your inspiration, and introducing yourself, talking about you, and sharing you and your art with everyone. And super appreciate it, man. I thought it was a great show. I found myself truly entertained. I probably could shoot shit with you for another 2 hours. I bet you there's so much more we could probably talk about, but I honestly feel like I should mail this song. I feel like you should get the sewing machine. Um, I but on that, I just wanted to say thank you, man. I really enjoyed the conversation. You said earlier today, I think you said it's just gonna be good. It's gonna be a conversation between two friends, and it did feel like that. So I appreciate your time, bro. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. It was really uh, a pleasure to be here and be able to have that conversation with you after New York and now live. Um, it was really joyful to be able to be part of the show and a really good number 450. So that's a really milestone.
Yeah, you believe it or not, 9+ years. Yeah, you guys have only really been a part of it the last year and a half, but before you guys, it ran for about 8 years. So I brought it over here. I said, there's so many artists. I was just gonna bring the show over here and see how it does, but I'm happy I made that choice, and I feel like the show has not looked back since, and it's nice getting you guys on, because I feel like it's just like Juan says, there's a family barbecue. So whenever you guys jump on the show, man, it's always a good time. And you guys are crushing it. Jenny's crushing it with One Love, and I love what you guys are doing, man. I love everything that you guys do. You guys put on great events, and I know you're always in the background tinkering, setting these things up. So you know a great. You guys make a great team. So
Oh, really appreciate it.
yeah, man. I looking forward to the future, bro. Big
Too.
things.
Okay, I send you the link. So let's go and
Um,
play.
Hang on 2 seconds, Carlos. I'm gonna close out the show. Then we'll be back. You wave goodbye, and we're out of here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. So that's Carlos Aquino. You had a chance to get to know him, meet him, check out his art. I got a chance to meet him at NFT NYC. Wanted to have him on, and I didn't expect the show to be as great as it was. I didn't have, not that I expected it to be bad, but I didn't expect it to be this good. I think when you have a guest on, especially when you resonate with them, as it's just so close. So many things I felt so close as we were talking. So very interesting show, and very appreciative of him coming on. So thank you very much, Carlos. On that note, the rest of the week. So tomorrow, 9 to 11 p.m. 9 to 11 a.m. and NYC time. You guys know I only host 2 spaces. Tomorrow will be the Linked by Art space with Sketch, Shira, Kat, my co-hosts. So very interesting topics. It gets better each week. So I invite everybody to jump into that space. End of the week. To the HOP, well, we have no community show this week, but I'm still trying to figure out a guest for Friday morning. So I'm not going to open my mouth yet until I have that confirmed. And Friday, TGIF, 1 p.m. So you never know who the guests, you never know who the hosts are going to be. First people to make it to the room usually are the hosts. So TGIF starts at 1 p.m. NYC time, and it's just a bunch of friends shooting the shit. You never know, like I said, who's going to be the hosts. Sometimes Josh, Ghost, Sketch, Mongoose, Sun. Actually, Chaz surprised us last week with being a guest. So you never know who's going to be in there. So I invite everybody to have a good time on TGIF. Other than that, that's the only time that I'll be popping up. And I appreciate everybody's time. I want to say it's Monday night, so you guys got all week. Go out there and create some great art. And have a great week. Have a great night. Have a great week. And I will see all you guys tomorrow in Spaces, as well as on the show on Friday. So till then, create great art, guys. And thank you very much. All right. Oof. Yes, this one. Carlos, you're on screen, so just be aware. One last time. I'm going to bring up your art. Let's get this song up. Oh, yeah, let's do shout-outs real quick. Let's go around the horn and just say hello to everybody and do some shout-outs. Let's get this track ready and set. Oh, we're going to get capped everywhere with this one. All right. Okay. All right, guys. We'll do some quick shout-outs. Facebook, very quiet tonight. Facebook, Twitch. We got anything going on Twitch? Where are my comments on Twitch? Where are you, Twitch? Okay, very quiet. It's quiet on Twitch. One day we're gonna have a comment on Twitch. We don't have comments on Twitch. Go very quiet on YouTube. Must be a quiet night out there. X, Anna, Chaz. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Nice to see you, Anna. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Chaz, thank you for tuning in. Good to see you guys. We'll go over to IG. Say hello to everybody. All right. Mind Soul Meditations. Chiroa, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of the show. Janita. What's up, Jenny? Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of the show. Nelia. JT, Jeff. Usapata. Katz. Creatress. Luco. Lovely 6422. Alicia. Photoshop Universe. Dana. And Baby. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the show and being part of the show, guys. Appreciate it. On that note, we're going to cut out. We got a track ready. We're going to play out and play some of Carlos's art. We'll see everybody next week. Until then. Y'all stay up, stay positive.
Road tripping with my two favorite allies. Fully loaded, we got snacks and supplies. It's time to leave this town, it's time to steal away. Let's go get lost anywhere in the USA. Let's go get lost, let's go get lost. Blue, you sit so pretty west of the one. Sparkle like with yellow icing, just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. So much has come before, those battles lost and won. This life is shining more forever in the sun. Now let us check our heads and let us check the surf. Staying high and tries more trouble than it's worth in the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. Some time to linger on. We three honky doors got our snake finger on. Now let us drink the stars, it's time to steal away. Let's go get lost right here in the USA. Let's go get lost, let's go get lost. Blue, you sit so pretty west of the one. Sparkle light with yellow icing, just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for. Your smiling eyes are just a mirror for.
And that was a damn good show. We'll see everybody on the next one. Till then, peace.